you also don't have a DK, right? Like, Pugna does offer some push, but the way that Pugna 5 is played is usually not around Nether Blast, it's usually around literally anything else. So, you're going to have much more difficulty in getting the map pressure you did last game. I don't think it's going to be that kind of oppressive game, especially because Team Reborn also has a really strong lane in the bottom. I don't think this... I'm trying to think if there's a way that CK Team Protector can lose, but I'm pretty sure this is a given lane.
It's a really good one, yeah. Sand King Mirana.
Sand King Mirana is good.
It's good.
But,
This one is going to give it a pretty serious run for its money, especially because Reality Rift is very good against Leap. You can probably get pulled back even after you Leap just because of how that cast range works. It's a little bit brutal. You know, the Chaos Bolt is going to chase you through Leap. Dream Protector with the move speed slow is incredibly punishing. And Sand King is notoriously weak in the early levels. So, yeah, it's a super strong safe lane for Bald, who are currently still smoked and searching around the top part of the map. They will block the safe lane camp here. So no pulls early for Ivy. Ivy, though, double committing on these wards. It's kind of towards the middle lane, the bottom side of the Radiant mid lane.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. A rotational ward here. I mean, I guess with Sand King Mirana, you have options to punish them if they go jungle, perhaps. Oh, wait. Oh, they're doing a... Oh, okay. They're doing a lane swap here? Is that possible? Yeah, they're running max top.
Well, Bald might know this is coming, and that would explain this really deep Observer ward. And they will scout max now. Pings are coming.
Right, because Tiny versus Necrophos is trash. Right, yeah. That makes sense. Like, the Sand King is meh in either lane, right? But the Tiny can't hold his own against Necrophos.
Well, here's Losco. He's going to be down bottom. So now we're going to play a little bit of musical lanes, where Max and JM are already kind of being bullied a little bit. Will
they swap again? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, Ball's here also with the aggressive try currently.
Oh, that's clever. You want to secure everything on your CK. I feel like you have to just trust Excalibur to either win or even tie his lane, and you just put everything on CK. This lane is very strong as well. Max is maybe going to die?
I believe so.
One more punch. There we go.
There's some very heavy hitters in the lane, and let me tell you, a level 1 Nether Wart ain't going to do jack diddly squat to stop you from being ran down like that. Not at level 1.
Yeah, not a fan of level 1 Nether Wart, to be honest. I'm assuming it's because he thought, oh, it's tri-lane, so more spells can be cast, but... And it is good at covering Illuminate damage, but I think Nether Blast will just make you a hero. Well, you're not a hero right now. Look at this. What are you gonna do now? You run around. You don't deal any damage. You can't really trade because you're still up against Dream Protector.
Yeah, and Radrix is gonna be totally fine in this bottom lane as well. He is,
yeah. He gets the preferred matchup, right? Which is why they allow this. And maybe they could try top, but the try is so much weaker as well.
Maybe we're gonna go again.
That's very clever from Bald, yeah. They're gonna take Jay and Vincento again.
Yep, for the first time, right? They killed Max there on the first life. Right, they dispatch of his Nether Wart, extra little bit of gold, 75. Does start to add up a bit.
The only advantage you have is that Sand King could potentially just, once he gets enough points in Sandstorm, he just kind of stays there and recovers, and the tower won't fall, right? Like, they have push, but not a crazy amount of push on CK. Sand King can definitely defend this with the Pugna, but the early laning stage is going to go badly.
I don't know.
And at least they secure this lane.
I actually don't know if he can sit in Sandstorm in this lane, because they have so much AoE damage. Like, Nature's Grasp, Illuminate. Okay, they're stopping the tri-lane now, so I suppose that's a bit of a moot point.
Yeah, because they realize Radrix, good matchup, but also Tiny has a support, and then we can't deal with that. So I think it's clever. You still have the stronger lane matchups, right? Cuddle and CK is still the stronger lane matchup, so Gork essentially playing offlane CK here, but against a favorable matchup. That's good. Oh, okay, Radrix could be in trouble there, but Cube, his arrow gets blocked by Egg sense position. Well done.
Yeah.
And the mid lane's even as well, which is important here, I'd say. If whoever wins the mid lane is going to create a huge advantage, and I think DP already has an advantage naturally because of her tempo.
Ooh, they actually end up still getting that kill into Radrix. Ixen looking for revenge, but will not be able to find the leaping Mirana. Right.
No, support Mirana counters the Necrophos much more so than he counters Tiny in general, because the lack of mobility there is just so easy to hit the arrows. You can also toss into arrow if your team is good enough.
Oh yeah, no, that's a really good point actually. That is a little bit of setup. Yeah, I've seen that. It takes a lot of coordination, but it can be done.
Yes. Yeah, because the arrow has to, for real arrow duration, you have to kind of like launch it as the toss is used, right? So it is hard. But this is a Div 2 team, Richie. There's some of the top 16 team in Europe.
Yep. Top 15 at least, as they are now.
Right, it's true, because Winter Bears from Iran, obviously, is the 16th place in Europe.
Oh, they're playing whatever league they can, right?
That's true. Give us a MENA league, right? That's what I'd say. I think there's enough players from there. You could even get Runic in it because he's from Kyrgyzstan. I guess that would apply, or it'd be closer server, right? Yeah.
That's a good point.
Or Runic is Max. Sorry, when I think of him as a Kyrgyzstani, I call him by his old no-lifer's name.
Excalibur, he's got his own bottle, so he's going to be able to regen up even if he loses out on that water rune. Not a big deal.
Nah, good lane by Excalibur.
Missed uphill. Very unfortunate on the range creep, but it didn't get denied, so no need. That's always a little bit of a tilter. But so far, it's calmed down significantly from the early aggression that Bald have really started to show. They've certainly secured Gork start. He's 21-9. He's really denying Max just about almost everything in this lane. Sanking still able to find at least 12 CS in between the amount of harass he's taken. And that's a nice pull. So it'll at least buy a bit more time here for some CSing. So this Pugna doing a lot of work in this lane. As far as how well he's been able to try and at least get Max any sort of creeps.
I mean, again, you're Sanking in the early levels. You're up against one of the strongest lane composition of CK Coddle. Yeah, you got the safe lane, but you know, there they gave him a little bit of farm. I don't know if they should have pulled there against Sanking. When we talked to Melis from, well, he was in not PogChamp anymore. No. What was the team that he went right after? I'm blanking on this. Sorry. I need to look this up.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Well, is the team he's currently on? It's just blank.
Oh, what an arrow from Cube!
Gambit. When we talked to Melis from Gambit, he said that when you are Sanking, you can do these kind of pulls to recover a bad lane as well, and that's something that a lot of Sankings don't do. And he feels like it's something that's like not really well utilized, and he didn't do it well himself.
What a pull!
But doing it for him is.
I'm sorry. What an arrow! That was huge. He just got sniped up on the high ground. That frees up the TP to finish off the tower. And even though I said Lina shouldn't lose the tower in the first wagon, it's not 2 games straight where unfortunately Excalibur is not going to be able to TP back to his tier 1 after the first wagon shows up. That's a little bit unfortunate for him. He's not too far behind in terms of the last hits. But again, DP certainly already very enabled. So this is going to free up the Sanking Morana to start rotating around the map and hunting. It's a bit scary here.
It is, because this mid tower enabled them last game, right? And that's them at a DK, so you're like, well, it's gonna fall no matter what, right? But now with the DP, she's the only pusher, so by taking the mid tier 1, I'm assuming this time we are gonna see much more rotation from Mobe. Probably go bottom, force the Necro out of lane, because he can't deal with DP. But obviously, with Exo's back online, right? No point to do that early. Even have a Tiny for extra push down bottom. And this is the kind of Tiny that like he needs a bit of help, but can help take tower.
Yeah. Yeah, the fortunate part for him, well, I suppose that for both safe laners, because they've both performed the lane swap. There's already in the lane that they end up rotating towards and want to push. Right. And I think Gork is going to end up farming a little bit here. Some mega stacks being made by Cube. That's a 1, 2, 3, 4 times stack here on the hard camp. Skill is going to end up farming that up nicely.
Radiant's courier has
that
been
arrow was assuming that Gork. Oh, actually, I like that. I like that idea. Honestly, I think it would have hit a Gork taking that path. So.
Grandmaster Morana. That's why they pick him there.
Yeah, honestly. Also, he's a punch player, right? That's the 2 heroes he plays.
That's a good point.
In terms of skill shots.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you guys want to watch someone's skill shot, that's cute. This guy's been really on point. That's why he has such a huge group of fans. It was him and Tofu, right? That were the two German skill shot players.
Tofu, big fan. Yeah. Is Tofu German?
Cute, big fan. He is.
No way.
I'm pretty sure.
No wonder he's got so many fans. Yeah.
Well, all right. I looked up Tofu, and obviously the food came up.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's German, South Korean.
Ah, super cool.
Makes sense, honestly, completely.
Yeah.
Efficiency and skill combined.
I didn't mean to leave him out. I brought up Stormstormer, his teammate, his longtime teammate, and I didn't bring up Tofu. Shame on me.
I also blanked that
Max,
one.
first step is going to be for Pablo. He says, just for you, Coddle. Yeah. Enjoy the move speed slow.
And the tip as well. I mean, he's recovered really nicely from the lane. I feel like those pulls actually were much more crucial than they seem. Because Gork is now 3.1k net worth. Not that great for a lane that actually went pretty well for him. And the Sanking actually has more last than him. It's kind of wild. He has his Blink Dagger 9 minutes in.
Oof. Yeah, and he was first blooded as well.
Oh, he went for travels now. He's like, you know what? I'm swimming in gold. He's deciding between the two. Okay, he'll go for Blink Dagger. Fair.
Yeah, I like Blink a little bit better. I thought maybe DP was going to go for bots. It's a bit of an older build, but she has, once again been enabled for the start. Not too big of a deal, right? You've got Morana who can clear, well, she clears waves decently well.
What did DP go for?
Pugna to farm. Phase boots.
Oh, phase boots, okay. Yeah, I like the Blink Dagger on Sang. I think he can still go for bots after. Yeah, he's gonna. Okay. Because now you scale, and you're right. If you have 2 bots users on your team, unless you have like a lineup that's specifically meant to be global, not the case here, right? I feel like it's overkill. Too many Midases in the team, essentially.
Right. Which team that
Bots
was
is just
Mystery
a
Machine,
mid-lane
who, by the
Midas.
way, we'll be seeing later tonight. Not on this channel.
On the ESL Dota
Oh, wait,
channel.
no, that was Arkosh. Never mind.
Oh, Arkosh was the 5-. Yeah, but also that was
That
terrible.
was a terrible game.
That was not a very good game.
The game started off as a 5v4. JMV is in some trouble down bottom. He's returning a fair bit of damage, though, to Radjix, so they're going to have to focus down on the Nether Ward, and that'll get him to safety.
It's crazy how they're understanding that the dead lane now is bottom, right? Because that's where the offlaner is. So they know that that's the strongest lane. And that's why they send their 5 to cover. Like, usually you'd see the 5 in the safe lane, right, at this point in the game. But you're like, nope, you have to adapt. They mirror the map because of the change in the lanes originally. And obviously, this is a small thing, and if you're a high MMR person in the chat, you understand this exactly. But it's cool to point out for those people that, don't get to see this often, or you don't get to see this in your games.
No.
How pros adapt so quickly, so seamlessly.
Not if you're a high MMR player, if you're a high MMR person.
Yes. It doesn't matter if you're a player. I don't see players, right? I just see people.
Yeah, fair enough. I simply see everyone as that little pudge icon at the top of the screen.
Also, I mean, in my case, most of my pubs are full of animals, so I don't know about you, but there's not very many people.
His camp has been blocked, much to Keep's frustration, so he's no longer going to be able to make these mega stacks.
Yep.
Gonna have to call out a sentry and make sure he can continue stacking there. There's another Exo ready for use. Not a haste rune, unfortunately, for DP. That's always the dream rune, basically. But the illusion might still be useful for dispelling something, avoiding a CK stun, perhaps.
Man, that stack in the Ancients was so big that Cube couldn't stack it. That's how big it's gone. I think it's 4?
I see 2 Ancient Granite Golems, and 2 Rumble Hides. So that'll be a 4 times.
I can't tell if there's 3 Ancient Granite Golems. I think it's 5v5.
I believe there's only 2 big boys in there.
Oh, you're right. That was a small one. Okay. Still, huge stack for Tiny. It's massive to recover low skill.
Radiant are scanning.
And he's like, guys, I might need my cleave. Give me 5 more seconds, and I'll be Sven again.
And Ivy are going to make lots of space for him here as they will smoke down bottom once again. Having that Exo in hand. Right now, just using the illusions to tank. They are reinforcing down bottom, though. Zyxen has overgrowth. Radjix as well, ready with the first Reaper sight. And the Hooded Defiance, as he's going to at least be the first one to show underneath the tier 1 tower. Just a little bit of healing from JM. We can't give them too much, otherwise they get addicted to it. His life drain's ready to go again.
Just testing it, right? It's like, okay, it works. I can heal him. Yeah, good. The Blinding Light's not going to stop the ghosts from hitting. Oh, he committed. Yeah, they're going to go for the Necropulse first.
Arrow.
Can they kill him in time? He stuns the Ghost Shroud.
Hold the Lina.
Arrow covering him, but that's not going to be enough. Radjix got the Reaper Scythe up. No! Okay, Radjix does die in the end. However, they kill off the 2 enemy cores. That's a huge win regardless for Team Bald. And they go for Jim Vincento as well. That's going to be a 3rd kill of this engagement. Team Bald Reborn. They acknowledge that they're probably losing this early game, even though they don't know as well as we do, obviously, because they don't have net worth chart. But they're like, yeah, it doesn't look too good for us. We have to put more pressure. We have to take the opportunities they give us. And they just try to push your technically dead lane tower, right? You punish that. Even if the triangle's not nearby, you control your jungle more so, or you should, because how the lanes went. And good rotation by Gork there.
Yeah, and I mean, even though he literally just pressed a button, Radjix once again making a really clutch play. He pops Hooded Defiance before he gets jumped. That damage barrier is massive, 350. Allows him to live a couple of extra seconds.
Yes,
it forces the DP and the Sanking to dive even further onto him to make sure that they guarantee the kill. And even though he does end up dying, because he forces those enemy heroes so deep, the Lina is completely uncontested. I mean, dream Lina for her, right? She just TPs in and lands a stun and just starts blasting. Plenty of damage output from her. Great fight for Bald.
Yep. I like as well that I like the way that Gork is also trying to play the strong laning phase of the CK after not having the best lane, right? Like, you have to take advantage of this early game somehow, and if you just go perma farming now, the enemy team is going to outclass you with a Tiny. So trying to be a bit more active early, and trying to take advantage of also Necrophil's small power spike here. Good idea. Even with a Mirana getting a massive arrow, didn't really matter, right? So how tanky he is, as you said. Also 16k HP, not bad. Even the fluff he had coming into play there.
Lovely hat.
Sorry, not 16k, 1.6k. I'm an idiot.
Gork playing once again the true RNGesus hero in the game. At least the carry version of him, right? True random on these chaos strikes. True random on the chaos bolt duration. A lot of fun to play this hero.
Right. It's not pseudo random, right?
I don't believe he is. I believe he's actually true random.
That was the case for CK for the longest time in Dota 1. He even had like the biggest damage range.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they did reduce that right recently. Oh, Cupid is not jumping away. In fact, Blinding Light forces him even further back from his starting point, and into the Reaper site he goes.
Yeah, it's a bit sad because all the random things, like Chaos Bolt as well was completely random before, and now it's like if you get high stun, you get
Oh, they found
low
Excalibur
damage,
though.
and vice versa.
Stun, he's going to at least avoid a little bit of that damage from the epicenter, but fancy footwork here. Is that going to be enough to get him out of harm's way? No, the last tick of the life drain will nuke him down.
They can go back for the tower because they have extra level 2 now available. There's no way you defend this without the Urlina.
Yeah.
Vincento's already here. Level 1 Nether Blast, by the way. It's like, guys, I can push, right?
Let's see Max then. Another word? Yes, okay.
Yeah. This is the build you see. Puppy does this a lot as well. Like, no matter what the game is, like, he just maxes Nether Ward and occasionally takes 1 or 2 points in Nether Blast, but mostly it's the Carbon Fly and Nether Ward.
I always really like how Puppy plays his heroes. He's like, what was it? Treant Protector, I max Leech Seed, which is now the norm.
That's actually PPD who started that, to be honest. Credit what credit
What
is
was, didn't Puppy do Cold Feet then on AA?
Yes, he was the
when
Cold
everyone
Feet
else
guy.
was doing Chilly Fingers, he was more of a feet guy.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Don't do that. Don't do that to Puppy. Don't do him dirty like that, please.
It's called Cold Feet.
BKB. Yeah, I know what you did there. I don't have to say anything. Vincento? In trouble? Reality Rift? Okay. Easy kill.
Yeah, super easy. Gork's now got Echo Saber, Armlet, and the Treads. He is very tanky, does lots of damage. His illusions are pretty tough to kill.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Down goes the tier 1 tower. This time Bald will dispatch a bit much earlier, and they're thinking of Roche, it seems.
Not a bad idea. You're Radiant. You have a little bit of minus armor. You're not losing right now.
Yeah.
You lost map control a little bit, but you're still strong enough, so it's a good idea.
I mean, Reality Rift is 1 deso when it's maxed, so it ain't bad whatsoever.
Yeah. That's true, actually. And he did max it as well over the Chaos Bolt.
Arrow's good, though.
It is a good arrow, but can they contest this? That's the
He's
question.
thinking about it.
Mirana, I think
He's
it's
thinking
late.
about it. Oh, he's a little early.
Oh, he took the Roche Gold, though.
he did.
Not bad. Not bad at all, honestly. The earliest Roche is usually just for tier 2s, right? Nature is much less impactful right now, and the gold is a big deal. So, worth, I would say.
Yeah, a little bit of 500 net worth. A little bit more than 500. What's 330 by 5? It's another 150, so 650 goldish. Max is in trouble top lane, and he's just dead.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Bottom, though, Ivy are going to be pushing in response. Again, it's a very slow siege. 3 points now in the Decrepify. So this Pugnut not the main pusher. That's fine. It doesn't need to be. Not with a Tiny and a DP on your side.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's
And
top
Gork
tower
will set
is
the
under
illusions
attack.
to work in the top lane in
Dire's
response.
structures are fortified. Dire's top tower is under attack.
Take the top lane.
And the tree is pushing him off of the bottom tower. It's a bit difficult. Pardon me. Yes, of course, there's living armor, but I think more so than that, the threat of the overgrowth or just nature's grasp holding you down when enemy TPs are incoming is a very scary thought, considering how strong this Lina, how strong this CK currently are. So Ivy are gonna just chill. They'll leave JM back, but even then, he's denying creeps here.
Radiant's
Well,
middle tower is under
pushing
attack.
maybe the bottom lane. I mean, you take over the enemy jungle, but they just swap jungles with you. You're not in the position like with a DK where they have such a strong ganking squad, right? You need to wait for the Tiny to get online for that to really work. I wonder when Loska will decide that's the case, though. He went for Shadowblade, Echo Saber, probably BKB. I don't think you're strong enough to fight just yet. Lina has enough farm and obviously the Aegis to deter you from going for these skirmishes. Sanking Mirana has a goodish ganking squad, but not the level of Hoodwink Sanking, for example. You can't kill anyone on the map, especially with tanky heroes like Necrophos or CK on the enemy team.
Yeah.
Unless you commit maybe Epi, if you really, really want to push
I mean,
it.
even with that, Necro's actually got a full pipe online, not an item we see every single day. So the barrier now is going to apply to the entire team, making the Tiny Avatos combo and even the Epicenter slightly less lethal. So it's a pretty big item for him if we do eventually start team fighting. For now, it's not really the case. Both teams happy to farm a little bit more. Orc wants his Blink Dagger, and then I think they're probably going to smoke with whatever's left on this Aegis. The Crystal, not the Crystallis, what's this item called? It is a Crystallis, pardon me, is already flying on its way towards the Lina. So Excalibur very much playing a secondary core as he builds into Daedalus next.
That's how you play Lina, right? These days, you're kind of the win condition, you're nothing. And she's also the hero that deals with Tiny in this game. You might even consider later on going for a build that's not very common on Lina, but like an earlier Scotty and stuff to try to cancel the Tinies or try to win the melee matchup.
Oh, cute. Gorb's going to reveal his Blink. Doesn't get vision, though, for the Chaos Bolt.
He has Yules. Yeah. I think you're fine. He has Yules worst case scenario to deal with Gork. So it's a tough lane. Excalibur's going to lead, though. Only has BKB, that's not enough to lead.
Yep. Smoke is not going to pan out this time for Team Balt. All they do is evict the jungle invaders, but Ivy will simply shift across the map and continue their farm.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
DP now with BKB has the casual plate mail. He's going to go for Blink now and eventually upgrade that Shiva's guard. Upgrade that plate mail into the Shivas is what I meant to say. Whereas Bald will continue this bottom movement, and they do dispatch of that bottom tier 1 tower. He's still not mounting a very serious defense now, not at least while this Aegis is still online for Excalibur. Will be reclaimed here within the next minute.
Dire structures are fortified.
Excalibur can solo pushes if they take over the triangle here. I think they can actually even take the tier 2 here. Again, this mirrored map makes it feel so weird because this would usually be the tier 2 safe lane, but it's just a better place for them to farm here. And all comes from the lanes. I usually see teams adjusting at one point in the game, but both teams just continued with this way of playing.
Actually, they're going to even look to poke high ground. Aegis is up here in just about 30 seconds. Arrow finds the wagon.
Why the commitment on the first Aegis? Yeah, I think they realized. Like, first Aegis for high ground is a bit rough, especially given to the Lina. Only 30 seconds on it.
Yeah, I certainly don't want to fight a DP Pugna Tiny Sanking in a choke point like that. So the terrain actually does matter. You end up getting funneled very, very quickly and just kind of eating all this AoE damage. And Ivy are going to look to force the issue now.
We just got BKB on Tiny. Yeah, he just disassembled the Echo to get it.
There's Aegis.
Usually you rebuild into the Echo, but this timing is so crucial.
It's important. Well done. He is going to be scouted.
Yeah.
Better him than Gork.
Certainly, that's actually a really important smoke break because if you look at literally any game with Tiny, I haven't seen a game in the past, patch, right, where he doesn't disassemble to Echo. This tells you that pros understand that this timing is crucial because right now, most teams do this kind of the same thing. It's just about who does it faster. You know, Winter likes to say that a lot. They're playing very similar lineups in terms of scaling, in terms of what they want to accomplish. Their timings are kind of similar. So being able to break that smoke, which is when you just got BKB, you just disassembled the Echo for, huge, man, huge. So yeah, Xen actually saving his team there from a world.
There's a DD in the river. This might be enough to blow this game wide open here for Ivy, as the Echo is reassembled with that extra Ogre Axe. Now, you're completely right, though. Every pro is doing it. This is a crucial timing, and DD is going to make it even easier here for Ivy to maybe just find the opening that they need. Team Bald are leaving the base with a little bit of confidence, a bit of gusto, now that they've at least survived the counter smoke after Aegis is reclaimed. But they might not be ready for this DD Tiny.
Yeah, you have to be careful. That's an extra power spike you were not really expecting.
He actually pops it.
I mean, he can also just take tower, I guess, because he's Tiny.
He's popped it manually. He didn't let it expire in the bottle or wait on it, but he's going to make a push down bottom just to get the Fortify out. And that'll basically be most of this DD rune. Maybe he still gets this tower.
Yeah, you're tiny, dude. It's just the zero is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, okay.
Even with living armor, man, he just tears right through it.
Oh.
There we go.
Yeah, sure, fair enough. Just tiny things. So the DD rune for the tier 2 down bottom, they will at least achieve that, and they will swap outposts here as well. Better position for Ball, though, who of course would like to make sure that they maintain control of that outpost for the upcoming Roche fight. Ivy, we're going to smoke up yet again here underneath their own ward on the Radiant side of the map and go for looking for a fight. We'll know this Roche timer in 50 seconds. And Loskill's going to lead him in.
Okay. Okay, BKB is used by low skill. They're gonna go for Gork immediately. That's your damage done. Excalibur needs to get some space between him and the team, but with a DP, it's gonna be difficult. That toss, forcing Excalibur into the TP immediately. The damage is not high enough though, so at least he can get away. As the Coddle does die here.
Yep, and Eragix,
so they will get
last to go.
Oh wow, that team fight. It's just the initiation by Ivy. Stronger. They get the jump on them and killing Gork early. He doesn't have his BKB yet, right? The difference between the BKBs here is huge.
Yeah, Loskill was correctly leading the charge there, right? He was smoked, and his smoke breaks first, but he's still under the cover of his Shadow Blade. That gives Max the perfect intel he needs. It was a good Forge Staff, at least, to get Gork a bit further towards his comrades and towards general safety, but the arrow had already hit him. The damage had been done. DP popped at Exo. They shrug off the Lina's LSA, which was well placed, but BKBs basically don't let her do anything, and in fact, now they've caught her.
Yeah, staying a bit too close to the tower. Gork also using his Phantasm, trying to distract them. But Gork can just be gone on. Yeah, they can just die this really easily. Life Ray not going to do much, but low skill here brings the damage truly. He's balanced for a couple more seconds. Max has his own BKB, but the overgrowth stops him. The arrow avoided by Gork, but now the Life Drain keeps Max alive. Crypt Storm on top of this. Illuminate to heal him. Where's the extra damage? We find it. That Sandstorm plus the Crypt Storm will kill him. As the IXN has to put himself in the middle of this team fight and will suffer the consequences. Meaning that Ivy will get another free tower probably, right?
They might back off. Loskill kind of BKB'd for no discernible reason. So that's going to be his 8-second charge.
Yeah, I saw him BKB at the end of the fight. I'm not really sure.
I believe it was blundered, to be honest with you. It's okay.
Could you have seen Necro, maybe? I mean, that was the idea.
It might have been, but I'm not sure what for. If Necro has Death Pulse, you know, or the Death Seeker, I believe it's called. Yeah, absolutely. Right, you want to get that kill. Don't bother me, Necro. I'm going to BKB and kill you. Or if he had been low HP, where the Reaper Scythe was a concern, I believe it was simply just a blunder. It happens. It's not a big deal. 7-second BKB is still going to be good enough to kill Lina, right? Like that's his biggest concern.
Yeah. That's why I don't feel like it's the timing is that big a deal, but the cooldown was pretty big deal. I feel like you're sticking tier 2 with the BKB.
Exactly, that's why they back off.
Yeah. We're gonna get a Moonshot now on low skill as well. We saw this in the what's Thunder? No, it was the match we casted, was it?
That would have been the Balrogs game?
Oh no, the Balrogs game. You're right. It was the Balrogs game where he gets Moonshot, he just takes the throne solo. It's kind of crazy. It's the newer build on the Tiny as Excalibur fighting Mobe head on. Yeah, Excalibur's gonna lose this fight against the Exorcism. Bork is also got on by the Tiny, can't run away. They kill Pablo easily. They toss over the sinking onto the CK, utilizing that vertical movement to get another epicenter proc, and that's gonna guarantee the kill onto all the cores. No chance for Bald.
Yeah.
They're being destroyed this game.
No, they certainly are, and that's just another team wipe, quite frankly. Ivy have just managed to find the right targets. They are constantly getting right on top of Gork. They are shutting and getting into the face of Lina. And Gork, I'm sorry, Bald, they just, look who he's pinging. He's pinging Tiny and Senkin for missing. They're always on top of me, guys. That's what he's basically saying. That's been the last 3 fights from him. It's been hell. He can't fight into these guys right now. He needs some more support, but it's just not coming from Team Bald right
now. Yep, Team Bald, what can they possibly do this game with a little map control they had? Because they took the tier 2 off them, right? I think actually that was a bigger deal than we mentioned. They're playing the map mirror this whole game, I guess due to the lanes or whatever, but Ivy reset that. They take the tier 2 safely, now they have complete control of your jungle, and because that triangle is not something you can really go into as Bald, that tier 2 offlane didn't really matter. You took their safe lane, but the mid tower's still alive, so you can't really control their jungle as easily because you have a worse team fight. So it's just Ivy locking you out a little bit. And now they can go over your triangle, and that tier 2 offlane does not matter whatsoever for Ivy. Very big deal.
And you like to point this out whenever you see a tiny, because a lot of teams do like to go. There's two routes you can basically take against a tiny, right? There's the more traditional route, which is percentage-based damage, your DPs,
Sure.
your Reaper Scythes,
Your Necro.
Necro, you know, like Vessel, all the above, right? And then there's the newer school of thought, which is just continue stunning him, like take down his supports, right? Just keep him locked down. A little bit difficult to do because Tiny still has his 50% status with his talents, but you know it's doable, right? These supports don't really lead a lot towards that. Pablo tried to actually kind of go for like the core coddle build. I thought it was going to be an Axe Rush, to be honest, which I would have been much more in love with. This team does not dispatch of Ignis easily at all, basically just Cube.
True.
But he would need to be in Ignis range, and he's easily killable, right, if he's in Ignis range. No one else really is good at hitting Ignis. I understand the Vessel, especially versus a DP and a Pugna, like I get it. And it's not a bad Vessel game, I just think it's an even better Axe game.
I agree. It's just because your lack of control is an inherent issue in the draft, right? It's not so much like he should have gone Axe this game. It's just like you drafted yourself in a position where you don't have enough control, and then percentage damage was... Yeah, I can see your point. And here, by the way, we see the effort, right? Ivy in literally no time took the tier 2s of both offlane and safe lane easily by taking over the enemy triangle. Which makes the earlier movements by Team Bald feel like they were lackluster. And Ivy did so much more.
And Bald, the nerves are hitting them. Gork blinks out of the base. Cube leaps at him, and he blinks away. He's not having this. They have no idea where enemies are.
You're close to base now.
There's wards that are just watching them. If they take a single step out of the base through the mid lane, they're going to be scouted instantly. Like they're basically one step into Division 3. I mean relegation at this stage, unfortunately.
Division 3. I mean, hopefully, that would
Division
be
3 copium.
Yeah. Oh no, this is what you get when you play against Tiny DP though. Like you kind of get the two strongest heroes in the patch, I'd say, through.
Yeah,
it's rough.
That's a really good point. Two of like the most consistently strong heroes, right?
Yeah. And it's also the issue that they both are strong in very similar aspects, which is push. And the map control in this patch is just kind of brutal. It's difficult to regain map control in the current patch. And a lot of strategies that used to do this, like split pushing or even the smoke ganking, are not as effective. Like now, the idea of playing a pick-off draft is more around how you do it in the first 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And then afterwards, you have to play team fight. And this limitation as to the strategies you have means that lack of map control makes it really difficult to play.
Just feels like there's so many good bots bowlers. Gork's gonna kick off the fight. That's a promising jump. They almost actually get through and blow up DP, and in fact they will do it. Gork with the physical damage getting the job done, but he's been force-tapped away from his team. Low skill is gonna shrug off that stun, and down goes Gork. He's got buyback, might be forced or feeling pressure to use it, but so far Team Bald continuing to hold around them as they top up Radjix. He's gonna heal a ton. They cover him there with the LSA. So with the DP down, Team Bald still feel like they can go for a bit more. There's 2 more Vessel charges for the Vessel of Pablo. He's going to throw one onto JM. But Team Bald will not chase any further after they've lost their core. They're quite happy in that 1-for-1 trade.
I'd say the same thing with Ivy, honestly. I feel like Gork, or Bald didn't want to sacrifice Gork to that, but they kind of had to. It's one of those situations where you feel like you just need to do something, right? You got an opportunity, let's just go for it. But the things are on cooldown, right? The overgrowth has already been used. You didn't really have the control to follow that up. A bit of a mistake as well by Ivy. I don't know if you saw, but they BKB'd and Lotused before the overgrowth, right? Which is why DP could die. So you lost both your dispels there.
Yeah, I did see that.
It's just something to keep in mind. I mean, you don't usually consider the Treant as being...
I'm sorry I missed that. Smack with a solo kill onto Excalibur.
That's brutal.
And
that's absolutely
And this
brutal.
is kind of what you were getting at. It was this kind of like it feels impossible to split push. Like I feel like you have so many offlaners and mid laners that like to build bots, and when mid laners build bots, it's like a split push heaven, right? Like we just had like 2 patches of this with Puck, right? As Max might get a 3rd kill here onto Pablo. Seems fairly... Nope, he's not gonna get it, just barely. But they get JM. Response. When offlaners,
Excalibur's much more valuable.
When mid laners build bots, it's like a free split push game, right? Your Embers, your Pucks especially. But when offlaners also build them, it's just pain and suffering.
That's true. I think split pushing in general, honestly, are really nervous. It's very hard to do right now.
I'm not...
You know, you won't see the Radmanic Alliance anymore.
I'm not strictly opposed to it.
No. I mean, you have to do it still in some games. It's part of your strategy pool. It's just not as strong as before.
Skill.
Low skill.
Oh, overgrowth.
Oh,
and Aegis reclaimed.
Yeah, that's huge. That is massive. Ivy just lost their carry here. Is this? I mean, it's not enough to bring back completely Team Bald in the game, but it's a first step.
Yeah,
So.
and it's a major step. They even give the kill to Excalibur. He desperately needed that gold because he did get forced to buy back in that last engagement to defend the barracks. They actually didn't even lose the barracks. They just lose a tier 3 tower. So the damage, relatively speaking, is mostly economic here to Team Bald. Yes, they're down 23k, but in terms of creep equilibrium and lanes pushing, they're not really at a disadvantage here whatsoever. Nice patience there, great overgrowth, and that's why it appears that Ixon loves going for this Blink Dagger build. It just enables you to make these plays. In fact, he loves it so much. Overgrowth's so nice. He'd like to do them twice, immediately rushing the refresher.
I mean, his overgrowth has been clutch, right? IVs needs to start considering that as the biggest threat in the team. Good BKB there.
There we go. Yeah, now Gork's making them blink. He blinks forward. But the metaphorical blink, of course, is he blinks forward, literally, and forces the BKB charge from the DP.
Right, force them to retreat. Yeah, I see that. Gork also did the disassembling of the Echo for BKB much later because he didn't have map control and he had no space to farm. But it's here, and this is a huge power spike for the CK as well. You are behind the Tiny. Once again, that core-to-core massive does not benefit you, but you do have a secondary core to cover you a little bit.
Yeah.
So as long as Lena's alive, I think you do have enough.
Lena's got damage. They did kind of do her a favor in that last fight. DP sort of just walking around near the enemy high ground does eventually get hit by an LSA. Like it's bound to happen if you just lumber like that. So again, a bit of an opening there provided to Team Bald, but they do execute on it properly. Ivy don't get the saves off correctly, and Team Bald now finding themselves in a position where it's still a very difficult game, you know, don't get me wrong. This is very akin to last game where they get that kill off of the Eye of Scotty reveal for Gork, and then they stay in the triangle. Quite notably this time, they're not staying on the enemy side of the map, Avo. They're waiting for Roche.
Yeah, that's good. They've also warded their triangle, which is important. They warded the mid lane, which is one of those, like, I hope they don't deward this wards, which is fair enough. It's a good rotational ward, giving you some information. So now if Ivy take over the triangle again and they deward this, at least you have some information on them.
Flames there. Whose is that?
Was that from Bald?
It was from Bald, yes. They just lost a Cloak of Flame.
It was.
Not a big deal, I would say. Magic Resist is kind of nice.
Trained would appreciate that to push the lane faster, I'd say. Even Necroforce.
Whoa, that is Max.
Nice blink there. Max activates the Epicenter, but gets cancelled by the Overgrowth. There's the Epicenter channel again, but it takes too long. Yeah, this Lina started to deal damage. Bald. You can't just run into them like that. Oh. You gotta have a clear plan now.
Yes, definitely. I mean, that's just Overgrowth use, and sure, that's a pretty big toolkit, but for 2 heroes dead, and once again, potentially Roche respawning soon, pardon me. We'll see what kind of luck Gork gets here this time around. Last time it was 2 minutes. This time, it's 1 minute and 40 seconds. It's improvement, chat. That's what we like to see from Div 2 teams, improvement.
Yeah, exactly. And the Roche timings, right? Gork went to the code of Dota himself just to make sure that this Roche would spawn a little bit faster. They have still a chance, like I said. Ivy can't afford to make too many of these mistakes more. I think you get maybe 2 more?
Yeah, I mean, they're pulling it back. Dota Plus gave him a 1% chance here. But Gork, he saw those odds, and he says, I like those odds. I'll take them. And then he's fought them to a 12% now here already. I mean, it's significant. It's really significant. More importantly, it's about the net worth. Here's a DD rune for Excalibur. He's really got some damage to play with now. It's just a kill onto Cube. But hey, it's a kill. It's a kill. And they continue to do like the Overwatch tactic, which is they continue to kind of delay these deaths, right? 20 seconds, Sanking's going to be back. Another 40 seconds, then Mirana's going to be back. If they lose like another hero here, like they're just going to be bleeding.
Oh, you mean staggering?
Yeah, staggering them. Thank you. I couldn't find the word.
Yeah, that's a really big deal, and a lot of top tier teams do this all the time, especially when they dive high ground. Now, Vincento is also in trouble. I think he's gonna die. Okay, you didn't use that. Still, Reaper scythe on top of it.
All right, Excalibur's like, guys, what the heck?
Okay, he's dead. Right, let's just gloss over what happened there. He's dead.
Yeah,
Connell does die as a result of low skill though, because that took a little bit too long. And in fact, they're pushing bottom as well. The Sanking, surprising. Should they be this separated though? And I feel like
Excalibur, you madman. Love the blink though.
Because the reason why death staggering is something that you do when you push high ground in Dota is a genuine common skill. Especially when, like, you know how the common thing is like, hit racks, people say this in pubs a lot. Not always true. Sometimes you actually have to get kills. And the reason for this is that staggering, when it's done like this, you know, when it's done all over the map, is usually the fault of the team who lets you do that. Like, it's Ivy's choice if they want to stagger the deaths or not. They can just choose to play super defensively. You can't do anything against that. So, I would like for them to do that. Just wait for the team
I
fight.
didn't cut the replay there correctly. I apologize, but that was just plain unlucky from Ivy. I don't believe they scouted Roche. I think he was kind of on that little...
They really just miss it? I thought he was in the pit when he did
I think he was on this like dumb little terrain thing here where you lose vision of the inside and the outside of the pit.
That's rough.
I don't think they know Roche is up. Okay, now they're going to smoke. And they are...
Oh, this is huge. Now this is an actual turnaround.
I don't know. I don't know if they know Roche is up. They're too late?
I mean, they have to smoke into Roche. Yeah, they're too late.
Wait, guys, the eggs!
They left him behind right quick! Oh no! The DP got the eggs!
Guys, that's not the... You're supposed to leave the cheese.
No, it's the Aegis. That's what IG did at TI. Look, if this happens at TI, I think it's fair for it to happen in Div 2 game, right? At TI, they straight up left it for 3 minutes as well. Like, this was quicker, at least. So.
All right, well, you know, it's fine.
Ags,
One team forgets the other team is doing Roche. The other team forgets about the Ags blessing. You know, these things happen.
Oh, right.
All right, I mean...
Sanking got a free Ag. That's kind of huge.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a really good Ags, to be honest.
Yeah. Oh, Phantasm Ags for Gloric. Interesting choice. So what does this do?
This, it creates illusions of your allied heroes, and
yes,
and also
I know literally
dispels.
what it does. I meant to say, like, what is the purpose? Like, what is the purpose of the Ags here? What are you trying to do? Because usually it's good for area silences, so I guess the DP.
I see 2 reasons for this. You've nailed the first one on the DP, but I also think the Decrepify potentially is kind of a big deal here.
Sure, I can see that. I mean, are the illusions useful? I guess the Lina illusion is also kind of useful here as well.
Very good point.
Yeah. Like, I know people get really hyped with the illusions, and the damage from the illusions is usually the secondary part. When we saw this on Alphalane CK very often, it was not to get the illusion that you carry, it was to get, like, an extra save, right? Usually for stuns, or, like, global silence, or something like that.
Although, to be honest, when you do create illusions of Lina, you don't copy her stacks of Fiery Soul, and obviously illusions can't cast spells, so
very good point.
You know, it's not bad. They do damage. They do 100% damage, and they use the modifiers, so, you know, like, you take it. But it's not the best one.
I think you're right about the dispels here, like being the key thing. Like silences, yes, but also decrep and E-blade on Sanking, right? So I'm assuming that's what.
Does it do more? Does it like creates an additional illusion for Chaos Knight as well?
No, that's it. Oh yeah, one more illusion for CK. I don't think that's what you buy Ags though, of course.
Yeah.
Oh right, split pushing. I didn't really consider that part, but yeah, it does make your split pushing stronger. That's true. I mean, Tiny will clear the illusions quickly, but honestly, there's nothing else you can do against a Tiny, right? So it's not a bad choice to split push either.
And now Ivy find themselves in a little bit of an awkward spot in this game, right? Because, I mean, the Ags blessing aside, they did lose that Roche. With Aegis now is Excalibur, and previously he's not been too big of an issue in these team fights, but now he's got damage, he's got a BKB, he's got a team that can actually now stand in front of him and not instantly die to this Tiny, and he's got a second life. Slightly problematic.
He went for the side of bites as well now. Just going to give him more catch, a way to deal with Tiny through that BKB, regardless of the damage, right? That's pretty good. And a way to cancel Sanking potentially as well if he like initiates with his large blink stun. One of the issues when you get this amount of mobility on these heroes, like Ember or Sanking or whatever, is that sometimes you're so far away from your team when you initiate that they can't save you at all. So there's no itemization that Pugna could ever do to make sure that Sanking doesn't die. That's why Scythe of Bice comes in clutch. That said, he has Aeon Disc, so good play by Max. Definitely what you want to get this game.
Yep, Aeon Disc. He's a very, very farmed Sanking here as well. I was about to say basically only overwhelming blink, and then he's kind of out of slots already. Bots too. You can give Gem to someone else, but you're probably the best carrier for it on your team, to be honest.
Yeah, that kind of sucks, right?
Oh,
you would like
Wind Waker. Finish for Mirana. That will save you from Reaper Scythe damage.
That will? It's true. It's a very strong ability.
Just because I
can dispel overgrowth, right, on your teammates as well, so that's a pretty big deal.
That it does. Yeah, so it blocks Reaper Scythe damage. It's basically a Yule Scepter that's super expensive to upgrade that you can cast on your teammates. If you cast it on yourself, you can also move in the air. This is going to be a kill onto Ixen. That's the reveal of the Ignis. So finally that caught ability of...
Mostly for the teammates' sake, right, rather than anything else. Yes, and then all the people that for some reason had this fever dream that we all share, where you used to be able to cast on your teammates, they're going, oh, it's back. It was never the case, but we've all shared. All the Dota players have shared that.
The Dota Bernstein Bears effect, right? The Mandela effect, actually, as I believe it's called.
Yeah, the Mandela effect. I've never heard the Bernstein
Well, because
Bears.
apparently
Those
everyone
did
thought it was the
exist.
Berenstein Bears, but they're the Bernstein Bears or something like that.
I don't know. I never watched either shows. It was one of those American things.
It wasn't
I
a
don't
show,
get. We're
they
in
were
Europe
books.
now. You're in my territory.
Sorry, we read in America. We're classy like that. Oh wait, I'm in Western Europe. I can't make these jokes yet.
Yeah, exactly. How many languages do you speak
2.
again?
Thank you. Cube.
Well, okay, all right, let's stretch. Thank you very much.
Dos aquis, por favor.
Dos. Oui, oui, je parle le français aussi.
Parle le français, mademoiselle. And here they go on the
Yeah,
Pablo.
yeah, sure,
He's gonna
sure,
try and
sure.
TP out. He might make it. Nope. I was hopeful.
I mean, the fan doesn't even use to cover him a little bit, right? It's like, hey, there's 2 Coddles now. Woo! Can't kill them both. Yeah, they
Wait, bottom? Cube is hunting.
No. There's no way he gets a kill here. He got the gem, by the way, so Sanking now has a free sleep. Oh, yeah, just have 2 gems.
Ah,
All right.
nice. Well, you know, one for each eye.
I guess Morana is good at carrying it too, so maybe Sanking can free that slot up.
Ixen,
Is he gonna
I
cancel
think
his
is.
TP? That was
Oh
close.
my goodness, Ixen. Run. Max. Oh, he makes it out. Jeez, that was close. That little vision, they copied the effect from Searstone. Does not give vision in general on the area. It does reveal hidden units. So even if that was on top of the Dream Protector, it would not have scouted him, unless he was invis, but he wasn't.
Yes. Yeah, it was just kind of hard to find a Dream Protector in the trees regardless,
Yep.
right? So
He blends in real well.
he does. It's more the model than the invisibility he actually gets. That's irrelevant.
I think if Monkey King should have a chance when he mischiefs on your trees to just turn into Dream Protector.
That's true. I think that's fair. Yeah, and then you're like, wait, 6th hero? Especially when he's not in the game. That's when it should actually happen. He doesn't have invisibility,
Alright.
though. That's my bad. He doesn't have the shard yet, I realized. Last game, I got so in love with the shard that I thought I was going to build it this game, but I can see he's going for AC, which is just a way to cover against the tiny. Cleave damage does get affected by armor these days, so big deal.
Yep, that was a pretty big nerf to Kunkka. That's when there was like 6 patches in a row where Kunkka would get nerfed, and then Ice Frog would go, all right, now this is the nerf that will kill you. And then Kunkka would still get like most picked in first phase like every game. And then finally they changed cleave mechanics, and then Sven and Juggernaut died.
Yeah, what happened there was also that like Battle Fury was not built for it since forever. And you're like, oh, okay, I guess, sure, Ice Frog. Kill my Battle Fury too.
Just taking a look, because we are approaching some of these level 25 talents. Lena's had her attack range talent. What is Tiny taking, actually? 2 toss charges. Tanking, of course, this 40% blind and mischance in the, or the slow, pardon me.
Yeah, that talent is so
It's
good.
really, really great. 25 now for DP is the +8 Exo Spirits. And actually, Rajex is going to be the second member of his team to hit 25.
I don't think any of your talents are that good at 25. Like, Death Pulse cooldown's meh, and so is the Heartstopper. I suppose Heartstopper, because you're up against a Tiny.
Yeah. Yeah, I could die.
He's thinking about it. He's like, I don't know. This doesn't feel like a great choice either way.
Just thinking about trying to maybe get into that secret
Oh,
shop.
he hasn't hit low 25
No,
yet.
no,
sorry.
he's approaching
He's
it.
close.
Yeah, he might get in this next fight. Either way, I don't believe it's going to make that big of a difference.
No. Gork is also close-ish. Gork will make a difference. The Chaos Strike chance is a big deal. He could go for the Phantasm duration if he feels like that Axe is worth using that, but usually it's the Chaos Strike chance.
Oh, there's a jump in from Max.
He will use Epicenter is well committed, but that's the end that's triggered. No more damage from Max, which means he has to retreat. Overgrowth, and they send him back with the Will-O-Wisp. They did that
Yeah,
perfectly.
that's a gem fed. Gork is surrounding him with all of the boys. I guess the Reality Rift pulls in all of the illusions from Phantasm.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
There's the D ward as
All
well.
the illusions in a certain range. There's a range.
That's
limit.
where previously Ivy were held up. And again, we are in this Roche window. Team Bald, their luck is so bad. What's using up all their luck, Alvo? I mean, it's another 2-minute Roche timer. They would have been in a perfect position here to take advantage of this Roche.
Yep.
Yes, there's a buyback on the Sanking, but he'd already used not only his ultimate, but his BKB and Aeondis would have also been on cooldown. So, not much of a hero. Still a very mobile stun, but definitely would have been favored for Team Bald in this Roche fight. Not meant to be, though. Another minute.
Oh. Okay. They got the Trim Protector. No Overgrowth, but he will be dead by the time it gets off cooldown, right? Which is a big deal. Rajix, don't walk into the same area. Rajix.
Good force.
Yeah, that was very good force.
And the
Maybe he was just trying to show off
Ignis
his
is going to
escape
cover his
skills.
tracks. They know what's coming because of the sentry down. They're not going to really find anything. Ivy going for the D ward play. Are not going to be able to use this Exo then to take down Roche number 4. This one should be.
Yes, so it comes with everything.
Okay, Heartstopper Aura talent, you were right on that. Cube also level 25. Starstorm damage. He's gone for Ags again.
Yeah, well, that's a good. I honestly think the Axe was pretty good. So, and especially with the Pugna as well, the amount of boost or the E-Blade as well. There's a lot of use
Yeah,
to that.
and he's taking the right talents for it, right? The 10-second talent. Sorry, the 10 2-second arrow
right, it's a
talent.
strong illusion. I was wondering what happened with his Lena illusion. It's the Phantasm
Yeah.
one.
Hard to take those down.
That's a nuisance.
What do they take? 135% damage or something?
325%.
Ah, okay, it's still a lot. Never mind.
It's a huge amount. Yeah, it's a huge amount.
They deal 100% damage. That's their kicker.
That's the thing. Yeah, exactly. That's why the Phantasm is mostly like when we talk about the Axe, it's mostly a save. Like the actual illusions can't really pull a fight on their own.
Oh, JM can get 2 Nether Wards down now, actually, with Octarine online.
Actually, do you remember that there was this flip on Reddit ages ago about this Pug that had to go refresh your build and it was just like a rave every time? It was really funny. It was really good. I honestly, I'm not opposed to this game.
Big fighting coming, Avo. Cannonballs getting
Arrows,
here fast
Necro,
enough.
though.
Oh, they're going to be way too slow.
I don't know. Roger is getting close. Oh, maybe too
pit.
close. Forced out. They go into the pit. Who's going to take the roast stump here? Phantasm for save. Rogic's already thrown
Roscoe
out.
got it all.
Tiny can just take as much as he can. There we go. Leave the cheese on the floor. Take the axe. Quick. Consume everything, Tiny. Okay. Everyone's leaving. Everyone's leaving. I love that he prioritizes. We can literally see in his mind a low skills priority of items in the Roche pit. Refresher and Age is the most important ones. Cheese is useless. Leave it on the ground.
Leave it on the ground.
Take
Let
the
it
axe.
ferment. No one cares about the cheese.
Yeah.
He's lactose intolerant.
Cheese is very underwhelming in the current patch, so I kind of agree with that. I honestly don't like. It used to be like, oh, you have aged and cheese. It's like 2 extra lives. Now it's just meh.
What a wild fight. I can't believe Rajik. He makes it out alive, this madman.
I mean, I guess they tossed him out, right? I thought the Phantasm was really clever by Gork, like a way to prevent the toss, but it was already in the air. It's impossible for Gork in the middle of that chaotic fight to get the perfect Phantasm as the toss is coming out. That animation is not, slow enough. So, commending the attempt, but kind of impossible. Who did he give the? Oh, he consumed his own axe. Yeah, okay, he consumed the axe himself.
Yeah.
So now he has the 3 volley.
It's pretty good. It's really good when you're pushing side lanes. It's not so good in the middle lane.
Yeah, I mean, you only have 1 crit to get off it, which is a Silver Edge. It's okay.
Yeah, I mean, you still do 440 base damage, right? So
Yeah.
it's not the worst thing in the world.
Sure, that's true, actually. I always think of, like, the Tiny that used to go 3 volley
Yeah,
and itemize for
the
it.
TI
but
9 one,
he's just
was it?
scary. Yeah, I think so. I don't know. It's been forever.
All right, only a couple of heroes without buyback. 3 to be specific. Max, Gork, quite crucially here, as well as potentially even this Train Protector without buyback. Train Protector who did go for that AC. There's a toss. Rajix, Force Staff pushes him further away, but Gork, he's found his mark, and they've nuked through the DP. She's dead. Can buy back in the fight. Low skill fighting through this one. Rajix still alive. Life Drain doing a number, and down he goes. Gork only a 2-second stun there onto Max as he's going to try and turn around. Laguna Blade for low skill, as actually Excalibur, he's going to be disarmed, finally able to let loose yet again, and will nuke to the Tiny's first life, but Max, with that damage, is going to make the jump in. They're going to catch him with the Reaper Scythe. He's down for the count now, as Excalibur still being kept alive for now. The Force Staff to safety, and he's off and away. Secondary buyback now as Ixon's going to buy back, but they've lost Gork without buyback. They've lost Max without buyback. They've bought back on the DP. They've lost the Aegis, so Ivy are going to be repelled. The net worth lead continues to climb in their favor, but they cannot get through the high ground.
That's true. And with a Tiny, I mean, that's a commendable effort by Team Bald. Granted, they had to force a couple of buybacks there, but they kept Gorks. I mean, he doesn't have one, so at least he didn't use it, which is good. The initiation on the DP is being really good every single time. Even the Aeon cannot cover her. She just dies way too quickly. And Nullifier on Gork also did a big number there, obviously. That was the reason why they could get through the Ender so quickly. I was not expecting the Pugna to be the one to deal with the CK towards the end. It was a Nether Blast that actually killed them, which is wild. But Vincento proving that Pugna has some scalability.
Yeah, that he does. Rajik's a pretty crucial buyback. Yeah, lots of control there onto Gork, right? Life Drain, Nether Blast, Tiny with the double toss once he finds him in that fight.
There's really not much point in the DP buyback either there, right? Because Jet already used Exo, so...
Oh, Pablo is...
Okay. Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah, no, and that's a double toss, just in case he thought he was going to hit the ground. I believe DP did buy back in that fight, so...
No, she did.
She
right?
did.
Oh. Oh, you're right. Sorry, yeah, she TP'd towards the end. That's fine.
No, it's quite okay. I was also, to be honest, a little bit surprised that she decided to buy back.
Right, it was Sand King that didn't buy back. Yeah,
Yes.
in my mind, I had one core. Yeah, so she saved it till the very end of the fight. I mean, I saw the idea behind not buying back. I'm not really sure why she bought back towards the end, to be honest. Then I gotta change my
Low
my
skill.
point then.
Rajix, he bought back, so this would be a dieback if they can catch him. Probably also
Toss
level
back is
30 for
available.
Tiny. There's the jump from Max. He's got a Lincoln Sphere now, but the arrow's still going to find Rajix, and it's the Persian. Max is blown up, 100-0. Gork not messing around. He even activates his BKB to make sure he gets that kill. Oh, Harpy Scout.
The nullifier reality rift, dude. He's doing them consistently.
Harpy Scout. It's Pugnos. And that's going to give him the
Pugnos, yeah,
vision
it's a
before the
helm.
kill onto Ixen. Tree Volley.
Free volley.
Take that, Coddle Illusion.
Yeah, there's like 15,000 illusions here, but Tiny can just deal with them in a matter of seconds.
That's...
I mean, I'm not really sure what your plan is as Ivy when they initiate on you like that, right? Because could you build any sort of save? I mean, if Aeon Discs aren't working, there's no other save that can be used, right? Wind Waker's in the same situation where Nullifier just stops that.
Yes, it does. I believe. Yes, it does.
No, it does, yeah. It's because it's a constant dispel, right? That's why you can't force stuff either in the constant dispel. Force stuff is dispellable.
Yes, they changed that a while ago. They changed that when literally supporting was buying Force Staff and Glimmer Cape.
Yes,
And
exactly.
Ice Frog was like, no, you have to also pull to be a support.
But it wasn't that relevant until the Nullifier became the constant dispel, right? And then all of a sudden you're like, oh my god, why can't I move my teammates? They're
Yeah, the first iteration of
it's rough.
Nullifier was like not good. But also like a
was the
lot of
first one?
items weren't. Remember like Rod of Atos? This one isn't a fever dream. Remember when Rod of Atos was a projectile that would slow?
No, right. And there was only to cancel Lincolns. And people actually bought it just to cancel
It was a
Lincolns.
fast projectile.
That was the only utility it had.
But you know, it was
Yeah, now it's slow.
still pretty easily dodged.
I remember that, yeah, but so Nullifier beginning like muted items.
Wait, is this
That
gonna
was the
be?
thing.
Yeah, that's right. That's what it did. So you could pocket doom someone with Orchid Nullifier.
Yeah. Which was relevant to super late game scenarios,
Yeah.
right? Interestingly enough, the current Nullifier actually does a very similar thing, except before you would nullify the items of the carry so he couldn't BKB, and now you nullify the items of the support so they can't save the carry, which is a big deal with certain drafts, like for example a CK draft, right? So the Nullifier was actually a really smart play by Gork.
Okay. 43k net worth lead. Tiny has
Yeah, it means nothing.
a divine in the quick buy. That'll certainly mean something. He's also got a refresher. So double avalanche, which is also quad toss. Sorry, he's level 30. He's got this double tree volley. At this stage, you're kind of just limited by trees. I don't believe Train Protector has Ags. He doesn't, so the trees are not going to regrow instantly. Low skill.
Yeah, that would be counterproductive.
Low skill.
Low skill. He's solo.
Yes.
He got hexed.
He's
He's
dead.
gonna die.
What?
They're getting stressed out. They're getting stressed out because they think, oh, we should have won this game earlier, which maybe, but the defense by Bald was so good that they couldn't, and now they're starting to make these small misplays. That's why the net worth doesn't matter, seriously, right now. Like, yes, there's a slightly, like, there's a lead for Ivy. They technically have more items, more options, but when you have the right things to counter this, it doesn't feel like there's a lead. It's whoever initiates on whom, whoever makes the mistake here.
That's now Lena approaching this level 25 talent. I would say the level 20 talent's probably a little bit bigger for her. She's now got both the Spell Lamp and the Fiery Soul talents. Both very, very good. Anyone else really getting close? Level 30 for the Sankang. Epicenter pulses, at this stage of the game. Pablo has hit level 25. He's gone for the Blinding Light Stun. This is kind of a game changer. It's not as good as the Dissemblate Stun talent that Void Spirit has, but very similar. There's, I believe, 3 abilities in the game that all of a sudden at level 25 start to stun. Max, huge damage on the board.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Yeah, Blind Light is one of the biggest ones, actually.
Blinding Lights.
There's a massive area. Yeah.
Sorry, what's the one? Splinter Blast, and of course Dissemblate. I don't believe anyone else gets an ability that all of a sudden turns into a stun.
Meld.
Oh, that's right, Meld Bash. Yes, very, very apt. True.
Well, there's others. I just, you know, if you don't see the heroes in the wild competitive, they kind of.
Yeah. I mean, I guess
Muscle.
there's ones that you get with Ag Scepters, like the Dive Bomb on Hawk, right? But
Sure.
looking for XP, I suppose. Okay. Melissa Lena, certainly very strong.
Yeah. So the plan for Ivy, I mean, obviously if Ivy is not trying to siege enemy high ground, this becomes much easier for them, right? Their initiation is still
Fast
good.
Roche.
They can easily get the jump.
Ivy are here. Roche number 5 for those keeping
Okay.
score at home.
Right, yeah, it doesn't matter anymore, right? Once you get the 4th Roche. Can you take it in time? They can commit the exorcism for it. I would say it might be justified, but with Tiny, it might just be fasting.
Yeah, Tiny.
Yeah, it is. I think it's fasting.
It's very strong. I wonder if this is when you buy Divine on Tiny.
Dire's bottom tower
You have this Aegis.
Yeah, probably. That's the cover. The question is, what do you leave behind? A refresher, probably, until you know, come
Yeah,
back.
refresh, so you can get that double BKB on your second life.
And boots. Yeah.
Boots, and I mean, you need Silver Edge.
into the dike.
You can make an arc.
Yeah, I think it's just boots and refresher, right? Those are the two things you leave.
Yeah, well, he's gonna go for the Satanic instead.
Interesting.
Yeah, and yep, there's Divine.
Oh, he sold the boots straight up. He's not even going to use them
Alright.
again. Okay.
Who needs boots? He's still fairly fast.
Do you wait for the 60 minutes? Like, you do have enough time with the Aegis to wait for them. It's 1 minute 30 seconds, and you have map control. You will get those items before.
The,
but it
the
might give
problem
your
with
team a
waiting
chance.
is that assuming Ivy have timed it, that these buybacks for the tree and the Necro are now coming up. And if you wait even longer, so will
good point.
Pablo's.
Good point, good point.
I'm going to assume that they timed them.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Oh, wow, Lotus Orb did not reflect
Yeah,
that.
blocked by Lincoln, so the spell didn't hit.
Max. Oh, he goes in. His job is to go for the Lina, and he almost
Satanic,
kills
though.
Excalibur. Excalibur gets the BKB Satanic.
Fiery
He can
Soul
heal back up. Fan doesn't to cover him. The DP in trouble. Yeah, there's refresh though for the second BKB, and that's gonna allow him for the second exorcism soon as well. They finally take the racks. Great initiation there by Max
Yeah.
though. Even if Excalibur lives.
First lane of barracks, literally first lane of barracks. I can't believe it took them this long. That's not flame. It's just they've gone up high ground 4 or 5 times now. Just find the first time.
no,
Pablo,
Pablo got
run!
stunned.
The trees, they're not your friends. Only the big tree and protector.
Radiant's
4 steps down.
Yeah.
Magic's chasing for more. Doesn't have an Aeon disc here. Excalibur, he got caught there without Fiery Soul Stacks. He gets Satanic off, and luckily he's got so much damage that he still healed up an appropriate amount. That's a big kill there on the Harpy Scout. But that was really problematic there for a couple of seconds. And once again, he keeps letting Fiery Soul lapse. I'm not sure.
I mean, because you get the stack so quickly just by hitting heroes, so I guess maybe that's why. Lincoln's blocked the Chaos Bolt. Sankin could still be in trouble. Skill joining in, going for Gork.
Science
3%
Lina.
has already been
She didn't have
used,
BKB.
but Max is still fine. Yeah, Lina does not have BKB. She's in trouble. She's feared. Lina's gonna die. Excalibur's down.
They got
And
Gork.
thanks to that tree, Rajix could also fall. Gork also fell in the beginning of the team fight. He's more of the offlaner right now. They need Excalibur to buy back if they want to actually play this, though.
That's the.
Excalibur, I don't think you get to save your
No,
buyback, man. They just take
it's,
your racks.
I
There we
mean,
go.
yeah, Tiny will end this game.
That took way too long, though. You didn't put yourself in position. They can punish this, perhaps.
He still has this rapier. They might just leave.
Oh,
Gork's
Gork.
going to stop them at least. JM, though, is going to at least decrepify, buy some more time. But Low Skill's making the jump now onto Gork. Excalibur with the
The Hex,
Hex.
though.
That's a good one. Max charging up the epicenter. He's going to let it loose. Excalibur does have BKB and Satanic, so he's going to get off the BKB and easily at least ignore Max's damage. Ignis is good, and they have at least taken the first life of Low Skill. Overgrowth does not quite catch the Tiny, though. Low Skill's back on in, and that's the dive back onto Gork. They might get this DP. No, she's got the Yule Scepter. That's the Wind Waker from Cube coming in handy. As Low Skill is going to toss some trees at Radix, which don't hit him because he's in ethereal form.
Overgrowth did catch him, by the way, just dispelled it immediately. With BKB,
Thank you.
Which is very well done. Yeah, on point now. They understand how important Overgrowth is, so they've improved it throughout the match. Yeah, XN dies immediately. Tiny, yeah, pipe these racks as much as you want. Physical damage all the way through. Cube, oh, careful with that arrow. Rajix has to do this. He's trying to
Max,
block
another
best he
great
can,
jump.
But look at Sanking. Max just takes Excalibur again for a ride, and this time with a 3 volley, he will die. Rajix in trouble himself. The toss, and the GG is called. Ivy finally managed to finish this game.
Huh.
As
Wow.
Good luck in opens, Cloud. Oh my god, that was